Welcome back to Shul Lights. Another quick, unedited video. Just wanted to get this out there. I just took ownership delivery of this new Synergy 3 by FreLux. And the Synergy 3 is kind of an evolution from the Synergy 1 over here, Synergy 2. There was a couple different versions of this. There was even a Synergy 1.5 at one point. And now they're producing the Synergy 3. So I just wanted to go over my initial thoughts about this light, what I like about it, what I don't. And I think there's an interesting thing that I'll tell you guys about how to improve the light, like in my opinion, immediately. All right, so first off, let's just go over the overview here. So Synergy 1 was a simple, tiny little AA light, and it's got a little clicky here, and there's 3 modes, okay? And that's a great light. It runs on alkalines only. There's AAA over here, AAA over here, AAA over here. And it's a phenomenal light. It's really awesome. They don't make them anymore as far as I know. Then the Synergy 2 was out for an epically long amount of time. And it's a ramping UI. It's got some really great features, like there's a mechanical lockout right here, okay? So you turn it, and then wherever you're at, you can press and hold, and it gets brighter and darker and all that kind of cool stuff. The thing about this light is, as you can see, it's bigger. This light is very diminutive in my hand. This one's like, it's pretty big, not excessively so, but it's big. But it's also heavy due to the fact that it's now using AA's or 14500s. You take the battery cap off like this on the end by unscrewing this, a lot of threads. I mean, there's so many threads. You just keep going, keep going, keep going. Then when it comes off, you got the 2. If you're not acquainted with these lights, you can run just one or both, but don't mix chemistries. So if you're it is a dual fuel light, but use either alkaline or lithium ion. Don't use both. And lithium ion is definitely the way to go. It's brighter and it lasts longer. So I'd only ever use alkalines like in an emergency, and I just don't. Now, one of the bad things, in my opinion, about both these lights is that these came with Samsung LH351Ds, and they run green. So high CRI, but the tint's not great. Okay, so now, Synergy 3. What does Synergy 3 look like? Well, it's got the better UI from the Synergy 2, so it's a ramping UI. It has a mechanical lockout right here again, and it's smaller. You can see that it's significantly smaller than the Synergy 2. See how it's smaller on every single, yeah, see that? Okay, so awesome. And it's smaller because it's taking AAA sized batteries. So it's not quite as small as the Synergy 1. You can see it's a little bigger than that, a little bigger on every dimension, okay? But it does feel more like the Synergy 1. I mean, just in hand, my opinion, this thing feels incredibly small and light. This thing feels small and light, but not incredibly so. And then this one feels on the large side and kind of heavy because of the dual batteries. You can take a battery out, but then it's like you got this big light for no reason. Anyways, so back to this. For the first time, they've also improved the battery loading and unloading. You still turn this, but you don't turn it an epically amount of times, just about that many times. And then there's a button on the side here. You push that button. Oh, I guess I didn't get lithium. There we go. Push that button, and then watch. See it hinges. So again, you can run alkaline. You can run lithium ion. I'm running lithium ion right now, and you can run 1 or 2 because they're in parallel. And it clicks back together, and then you screw this back on. This is a much improved system. I didn't know how gimmicky this would be. I mean, I never had a problem with this, but now that I've seen their new system, it's definitely improved. It's awesome. So for size, the fact that it's lighter weight than this one, the fact that that system works better and it's all captive, I really love this. Now, let's talk about the fact that these two got an emitter swap for me because LH351D is terrible. Well, they are now for the first time coming stock with Nichia 509A. 5000K, but Nichia 509A. So the tint should be perfect. It wasn't. Okay, why is it not perfect? I didn't know if it was binning, meaning like, did they get a bad, tint bin of the emitters? What's going on? In fact, I did take it apart to even ID the emitter and just make sure. I mean, I looked through the front, but I wanted to make sure of what was going on. And so here, and let me just kind of move my camera a little bit, this is the meat of the video here. This is why I'm making this video. This is going to be useful to anybody that's interested in Synergy 3, I think. So let me go back. I dismantled the light. You can see the pill is out. There's no optic. The emitter's just sitting there, and I'm feeding it with a power supply, and I put it up to my Sekonic, and this is what the emitter reads. About 5, because I'm mid ramp, so it would be a 5000K Nichia 519A, and look at that, it's rosy, just like they are, and these are the right values for CRI. So I was like, well, that's what I wanted. But then as soon as and at the same ramp and everything, so I disconnected the power supply, hooked it up to the head here. See, now it's all put into the head with the reflector and everything. And same configuration, same everything. And look at this. It's instantly green. Instantly 32 points above green. Oddly enough, the RA and the R9 go up just a bit, but that's inconsequential. And the CCT drops a little bit. So what that tells me is that the reflector is focusing the light waves to where there's probably, I'm just assuming, some rosy pink tones in the spill, and that the hotspot and beam are getting majority of the green wavelengths. Okay, and that would account for all of this. Another reason that might account for this is I noticed, let's see if I can get a good, there we go. Really get a good focus on this. See that reflection there? See how it's purplish looking? So they're using a purple coating on the lenses. What did they use in the past? Let's see here. Yeah, purple. Well, these were green, and these always were green, right? So, I mean, we now know that, purple coatings kind of reject rosy purple hues. So something to be aware of. It's like green is better, blue is better. All right, well, so there you go. So I was kind of frustrated by that. But since I do have the ability to get into my light, and I dismantled it, it was about a 30-minute job because it's a little intricate. You got some steps here. But what I did is I didn't swap it because, I mean, it's already 519A, right? It's already a great emitter. And what I'm trying to do is counteract the bad reflector, in my opinion. Well, I just de-domed it. So I de-domed it. You can see there's no dome now. So I got a little more candela. And voila, it is now 40 points under, 3500. To me, that's the best CCT you can get. I love 3500. I think it's just great CCT. So now I am totally happy with this. This looks really good. Super excited. Now, that's my recommendation for people. If you get a Syn 3, take it apart. It's not hard if you go slow and you kind of look around. There's nothing too complicated about it. But there's some steps. You got to rotate some discs, and you got to turn some torque screws and whatnot. But once you get it out, get the assembly out like this. Just get that out. You don't even have to separate it or remove the MCPCB or the wires or anything. Just literally take my method with the Q-tip and just the cut Q-tip, push the dome off, and then just put it back in there. Okay. This is the very last thing for this video, and again, no editing, and this is mostly for the nerds that love Synergies and know what I'm talking about. Everyone's always said that this looks like a poor man's cool fall. So how do the sizes stack up with an actual cool fall? All right, well, I wondered that too before I had them, so I think it's worth covering. All right, let's take a look. So an actual cool fall SPY is larger than the first Synergy. Okay, there we go. So it's definitely larger. But a Synergy 2 is larger than a cool fall. All right. When you hold a cool fall in your hand compared to the Synergy 2 feels very large, and the cool fall feels small. And then now we got the Syn 3, and they're like basically identical. Okay, so if you want to know, it's a little thicker, I suppose, but look at this. Look at this profile. I mean, there's a big reflector here, right? Big reflector, but I mean, it's fat. It's thicker, right? It's thicker, but in hand, they feel very similar. So if you liked the Syn 2 but thought it was too big, Synergy 3 is definitely an upgrade then. I guess that's it. All right, so if you don't want to spend, a lot of people look at the Coolfall and love the design of it, but they find the price tag just like too crazy. Well, here you go. American Made Light by FreLux. FreLux right there. Oh, we got some stuff on there. There you go, FreLux. And this, I believe it's out of stock at the moment, but contact them. Get on the list for when it's back in stock. This is a great light. My only beef now, I'm sorry to end on a sour note, is the moonlight is still too high. I find that this moonlight here was about 3 lumens. It's still about 3 lumens. Even with the de-doming and everything, I'm about 2.7 lumens. I'd love to see this around a lumen or sub-lumen. So let me just give you kind of an idea. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. That's the lowest it goes. Okay, they're just too high in my opinion. Just too high. What do I have the Coolfall set to? There you go. That's what I want. Look at that. I want something like that. Okay. Right. All right. Well, anyways, great light. If you don't care about, 2 or 3 lumen moonlight, it's phenomenal light. De-dome it. Instantly fixes what I was so shocked about, which was the green tint out of the box with the Nichia 519A.